You ever have a moment you swore you'd keep to yourself, one of those memories that doesn't just linger but presses on your chest every time you think of it? The kind you're certain belongs in silence, yet somehow refuses to stay quiet. That's this story. And once I begin, you'll understand why. His name is Jake Carter. I'd known him for years. Always around, always steady, never someone I thought would end up standing this close to me. Not until that night. The air was thick with late summer heat, the kind that clings even after the sun dips low. I hadn't bothered to turn on the porch light. The boards still held the day's warmth beneath my bare feet. A cardboard box sat on the steps, ordinary enough. But nothing about that night turned out ordinary. Jake was already crouched beside it. Worn boots, plain white t-shirt, that easy half-smile he never seemed to lose. He looked up when I stepped into the doorway, arms crossed loosely. "Since you're already down there," I teased, voice lighter than I meant it to be, "mind bringing it in for me?" His brow lifted, not in annoyance. Jake was never easily annoyed, but in quiet curiosity. He waited for me to explain, but I didn't. Instead, I stepped back, holding the door wider. He carried the box inside like it weighed more than it should. His shoulder brushed mine as he passed. Casual, but not careless. And just like that, the house didn't feel so quiet anymore. He paused in the living room, setting the parcel down near the end table with more care than seemed necessary. I lingered near the kitchen doorway, half hidden, half watching. "Water?" I asked. "Sure." His voice was steady, unhurried. He was watching me, I could feel it, even as I leaned forward into the refrigerator. The hem of my sundress brushed against my legs, the air shifting around me. When I turned, Jake was already at the counter. Too close, but not unwelcome. I handed him the glass, and our fingers brushed. He took a sip, set it down, and looked around the room before saying quietly, "Nice place." "Thanks." My voice was softer than I meant. "You in a rush today?" I asked, searching for something in his expression. He shook his head. "Not unless I need to be." I reached for another glass, and my arm grazed his. He didn't move away. His hand rested casually on the counter, near mine. Close, but not yet touching. "You always hang around this long?" I asked. "Only when I'm welcome." His words were simple, but the weight of them pressed between us. I didn't pull back. Instead, I leaned just slightly closer. "You haven't overstayed yet." That was when it shifted. Subtle, but enough. His pinky brushed against mine, so small a motion, but it felt louder than any word spoken. I looked up. He didn't look away. Instead, Jake lifted my hand gently, thumb brushing over my skin. Thoughtful. Certain. Then, almost absent-mindedly, he raised it near his face, pausing like he was deciding something only he could understand. A moment later, he let go, his other hand settling lightly near my waist. I didn't flinch. My palm found his chest briefly before dropping back. He took one step closer, slow and deliberate. I leaned back against the counter, my heart steady but racing all the same. "Would you mind closing the curtains?" My voice was barely above a whisper. Jake moved without hesitation, pulling them shut one by one, the golden glow of the setting sun replaced by the hush of private stillness. I touched the necklace at my throat, grounding myself. When he turned back, I found myself stepping forward. The pendant slipped from my fingers as my hand rose, resting against his collarbone. Our lips met, not rushed, not desperate. Just quiet. Simple. Understood. His hand came to my shoulder, steady and grounding. I mirrored the gesture, our foreheads meeting in that soft, lingering pause. He looked at me again, searching for something unspoken. I gave a small nod. That was all he needed. Jake's movements were unhurried, his presence deliberate as he eased me gently onto the counter's edge. My knees brushed against his sides, and my hand rose to his face, drawing his gaze back to mine. Our second kiss was slower, fuller. This time, there was no uncertainty. The hush in the room wasn't empty, it was alive, brimming with everything we hadn't said but had always felt. His hands never gripped too hard, never pressed too far. They lingered, steady, like a promise. When he finally pulled back, his eyes held mine. No questions. No demands. Just a silent understanding. He helped me down softly, still close, still there. We walked together into the living room, the quiet stretching but never breaking. On the couch, side by side, our eyes found each other again. That lingering warmth hadn't faded. I reached for his shoulder. He leaned in, but not hurried. Not hungry. Just present. I tilted my head back, eyes closing, breathing it all in. A soft sound slipped from me, unguarded, surprised. His hand found mine, light, easy. A quiet promise. The room faded into stillness, but it wasn't silence, it was fullness. That night, I showed him exactly what he wanted to watch. Not a performance. Not something rehearsed. Just me. And I didn't hold back.